Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to Let's Play Control. Remedy's take on the weird fiction genre, a genre which most famously includes 1 H.P. Lovecraft. Of course, this brand of weird was not the only one, even when he was kind of popularizing the genre, and that's certainly not the case anymore. And certainly nowadays, there's more to weird fiction than Lovecraftian horror. Especially with stuff like the new weird, which includes Jeff Vandermeer, one of my favorite authors. He's the author of the excellent Southern Reach trilogy and Dead Astronauts, which came out last year. It's also the genre of House of Leaves, a book that has to be read as a physical copy, mind you, to really get the experience. Control takes its cues from all of that and so much more. And it builds something unique and new that's just a fascinating addition to this genre. This is already really interesting genre. And I hope more games branch out into it. And of course, we'll get more into what the genre is, what's included in it, where these kind of weird, nebulous boundaries are. But for now, if you're not familiar with weird fiction, it's better to dip our toes in than start off with too long of an explainer about genre and form. Just know that weird fiction and horror tend to have a really cozy relationship. They aren't the same thing, but the borders kind of bleed together. And while this is definitely not a horror game, it borrows and crafts a mood and atmosphere that is close enough that commentary for the rest of the game is going to be pretty subdued just to let the atmosphere breathe and to come through properly, just like I do with my horror Let's Plays. Before we start, I want to give you a heads up that there is a content warning you should be aware of because there will be a depiction of suicide early on in the game. That said, let's start this up.
This is gonna be weirder than usual. Can't be helped. You called me, so here I am. I know I shut you out sometimes. I'm always glad to hear from you. It's just that I get my hopes up. So many times it's led to nothing. I found nothing. It's like we live in a room and there's a poster on the wall. We stare at it and we think that's the whole world. The room and the poster. The picture's something nice. A landscape, a famous person. Like in that movie, what is it called? The prison movie. The room's a cell, and the picture, it's different for each of us. It can be beautiful or terrible, but we're all transfixed. But it's all a lie. Something to distract us from the truth. They're lying to us. We're lying to ourselves. The room's not the world. The world is much bigger and much stranger. There's a hole hidden behind that poster that leads to the real world. We all feel safe in that room. But sometimes something crawls out from behind the poster. And the ones that see it happen freak out and try to forget what they saw. I'm here. Why did you bring me here? Yeah, I see it. But what is it? I can feel it. It resonates. The things you show me, my friend, I forget. It's all in my head. There's no you, right? Where's everybody? I need someone to point me in the right direction.
Welcome to the Federal Bureau of Control, headquartered in the oldest house. The first of many references to House of Leaves, which this game takes a lot of inspiration from. And speaking of firsts, we have our first correspondence, a list of prohibited items including number 2 pencils or iconic representations of archetypal concepts, like ketchup bottles. We're not going to spend all the time in the world on collectibles and notes like that because Remedy, more so than a lot of devs, loves that stuff. But we'll check in. That portrait of Casper hasn't quite loaded yet. Mr. Littlefinger, who was in Remedy's previous game, Quantum Break, as well.
Federal Bureau of Control. All these years I've been looking for them and they were hiding in plain sight.
And Casper will play a pretty big role in the story. This is another one, the security order, worth reading because it's all redacted except a few words, like a shark in the... Although permission to... following proper protocol. Shoot to kill. And now we can kind of hear music.
Hello?
Distant music. And the janitor from the portrait.
Hey, excuse me.
There you are. You are here about the job. Janitor's assistant. You need to go to the interview. Go that way to the elevator.
Thanks. Elevator that way. Got it.
Very good. I'm Ahti, the janitor, by the way. You'll work for me. You can say I sent you. If they don't hire you, niin Johan helvet. There be work for the axe. Take them behind the sauna, jumalauta.
I've done enough night shift loner jobs to know it makes us come off weird. Ahti the janitor is a friendly face in my book.
Hell yeah.
Somebody with no face at all.
Hmm.
Think about it. Face.
Ahti
The
rules.
cell. And the poster. I was 11 years old the first time I saw behind the poster. They told me I imagined it. I've been trying to pull it down ever since. Will you help?
That's so good.
Did I lose you there for a moment? You know what's on my mind. My baby brother, Dylan. 17 years since the men of this bureau took him. We're starting from the top.
So she's talking conversationally to someone, and in response, you keep seeing this blue flash, indicating that something or someone is talking back, continuing the conversation. Ah, this is someone named Trench being very, very paranoid. Unable to trust anyone.
Shit.
And that's what we saw earlier. It was the old director.
You want me to pick it up? The murder weapon? Really?
And apparently we're gonna...
Something's outside. Was coming here a mistake?
have some kind of an interview. We are broadcasting from the pyramid/other. Only the director can wield the gun/sword/intentionally left blank. Your application will be processed.
Objects of power can cause or be results of AWE's altered world events, intrusions upon the perceived reality. Now, the service weapon is, of course, a prime example of an OOP, a very powerful one. Ingrained in the Bureau's DNA, a key component in our prime candidate program. Come out of that Russian roulette a winner and you're it.
The gun is the interview process.
Look at this place.
It's very Persona 3.
Why?
Oh, I love that looming monolith of a giant black pyramid. Bubblegum/Polaroid, all/none of the above. There are concepts/tattoos we see in our mind. The service weapon, it has many forms, like the house/prison you occupy. So it's nothing but a white void with some marble-looking platforms, but mostly dominating this space is that enormous upside-down pyramid. Control the gun/house. And you can see the gun looks like it's made up of the same material as the floor, which is reconfiguring itself, and we saw the gun do that to an extent. Destroy the copies/targets, and I didn't catch the other bit. We will get used to how the board talks to us, and all of its little double entendres. And we have a name for it, the service weapon. So this is primarily going to be our combat for a little bit. Semi-automatic handgun, melee attacks. Let me just tell you, things are gonna get real dope in that regard. Because remember, the gun changes forms. And the gun is not the only centerpiece of combat and world interaction that we are going to have at our disposal. You/we wield the gun/you. The board appoints you. Congratulations, director.
Something's coming. This threat. An attack. Duty as director. Keep the Bureau safe.
Did you hear that? It's the dead man. Right after the pyramid spoke to me, and it was just noise, and I understood every word. And this gun's alive. You know what? I'm happy. Happy to be here.
Trench is in the gun,
Things have quieted down.
and the gun
outside.
has appointed
Is it safe to
Jesse
go?
to be the director of the FBC.
You can't let this happen. 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 You stopped it. You. Oh, thank you. That was horror.
I love this little rainbow shimmer that comes off of them like a hit spark. Instead of blood or whatever. Oh, it's just this beautiful rainbow shimmer.
The hotline. Secure line of communication. Guidance. Reach the hotline.
Trench.
Says the dead man.
Trench from within the gun is telling us to get to a hotline, some means of communication. There we go. Kept hitting a monitor. So the real-life counterpart to this building, to the oldest house, is a brutalist skyscraper located at 33 Thomas Street in New York. And that also happens to be in-game where the oldest house is located. And then I think a secondary inspiration is another brutalist building. I think it's the Eisenhower building. Oh, gotta love those physics. Ragdolling. And you can for sure bet that that rainbow shimmer is inspired by the movie Annihilation. Not so much the book, although Jeff Vandermeer and his work also serves as inspiration for this. The FBC itself is not unlike... Is this the house fire? Yes, we will get back to that in a second. I'll sum that up. But the structure of the FBC, this very, like, dry, prim and proper FBI-esque infrastructure for studying paranormal events and whatnot, not...
The hissing sound that tried to invade me earlier. The hiss burrowing into everything in this place. Is the hiss your enemy? Alright, it's our enemy.
And like that, we have a name for him. The Hiss. I was saying that in no small part is the premise of this inspired by the second book in the trilogy that Annihilation is part of. The Southern Reach trilogy. And that second book being Authority. Which even follows a guy named, or nicknamed, Control, trying to figure out what the fuck is going on in Area X, the setting of the first book, Annihilation. And it's all just very dry and bureaucratic. When there's this explicitly color out of space-esque threat going on.
An enemy. Corrupt. Spreading.
Cleanse the control point. What does that mean? Help me fix it.
And like that, the oldest house has shifted.
Holy shit! You did it! We did it!
Hello? Can you hear me? Are you with us? With the Bureau? Are you still sane?
I can't tell you how happy I am to talk to somebody sane.
The feeling's mutual. Yeah, I'm Pope, Emily Pope, Dr. Darling's assistant.
My turn. Should I lie? Jesse Faden. I'm just visiting. I should have lied.
Oh, shit. You're the new director. Hold on. We're coming out.
Director Faden.
Call me Jesse.
Okay, Jesse. I'm Emily. Look, somehow this hostile force, this...
Hiss?
that works? Somehow the hiss managed to infiltrate the building without any warning.
And just like that, my name for it is official. The hiss. Like the sound of poison gas leaking in.
We're in full lockdown. It seems to have spread everywhere and to everyone not protected by an HRA. And, extraordinarily, you. You are the director, and that makes you special by definition. Trench is no longer the director, obviously. I'm sorry, I'm talking too much. This whole situation is just a lot.
Trench is dead. Shot.
Ah.
I found his body. And the gun. Do I tell her it looked like a suicide?
The service weapon.
Also, and this can sound crazy, but he keeps appearing to me. Saying things. It's hard to make out, but he told me to cleanse the control point. Push the hiss out. The whole room shifted around.
You did that? And you entered the building when it was already in the lockdown before you became the new director? How?
I'm not ready to tell her about you yet. A janitor let me in.
I love it. This is fucking unbelievable. I can't even... Look, Jesse, I have a million questions, and you probably have a million more.
Like, do you know my brother Dylan? Not yet.
But there's something I need to ask you to do first. If you can cleanse a control point, then you can maybe cure those infected or possessed by the hiss. Because if that's possible, our options are very different.
Emily Pope. I don't know her, but I like her already. She's the opposite of the faceless agency I've blamed for what happened to me for so long. But I can't trust her yet. Or rather, the Bureau she's a part of. Yes. I can try. I'm speaking for you, of course. We can try it together. Okay. You with me? We did it before. Push the hiss out.
Oh, by the way, that memo that I said we would get back to, it was about a potential altered world event in Duluth that turned out to be anything just like a house fire they mentioned. And that is going to do it for now. Thank you all for watching. Take it easy. Have a good one, y'all.